So today we shall be studying another important result which says that any finite field has an extension over any finite degree. So that means this is a more generalized version of the given result that we have earlier proved. So what does this result say? It says that if you have f as some finite field having p to the power n elements in it and n is some positive integer. So f is given to be a finite field and it has p to the power n elements. Then they are saying we have some extension field E over F. So they are saying, suppose this is the given field F and this is the extension field of this field F, and they are saying this field F, this is a finite field having how many elements? P to the power n elements in it, and the degree of this extension field E over this field F, that is equal to m. So the degree of E over F, that is equal to m. So this is the result. They are saying this degree is equal to m, where m is any positive integer, and all the extensions of this finite field F, they would be isomorphic to each other. So each would have a degree of m corresponding to the above available extension. So here we are given F as a finite field having p to the power n elements in it, and we have to prove that there exists an extension E of F such that the degree of E over F is equal to m, and all such extensions, they are isomorphic to each other. So this is what we are to show. So firstly, let us assume that F bar be the algebraic closure of F. So this is the algebraic closure of this field. So that means we are saying we have some field F here and we have the algebraic closure of F. So algebraic closure is the algebraic field which cannot be further extended, right? So this is the last field that you would have. So this is the extension field. So we would look for some field in between these two fields. So for that, what we are doing, we are considering one polynomial f of x that is equal to x to the power p to the power mn minus x, and it belongs to fx. So that means all the coefficients of this polynomial, they are in this field f. So this is what we are saying. So now we take any element u from f, any arbitrary element from this field f, and we are saying this is not equal to 0. Then because f is a field, this is a field. So what is the definition of field? It means it forms an abelian group under addition, first thing. Second thing, it forms abelian group under multiplication. That means all the 5 properties for the group including commutativity are followed, and third is the distributive laws. So we say this F also forms the abelian group under multiplication. However, this group should not contain the element 0. Why? Because that element would cause problem when you divide by 0. So we say because the multiplicative group of F has the order p to the power n, because 0 is not present. Total elements were p to the power n, and 0, we have excluded 0 from it. So total order of that group would be p to the power n minus 1. And now we can apply all the theorems for groups here. So according to this one, because u belongs to f and satisfies satisfies this property for multiplicative group, so we can say which has the order p to the power n. So we would say the order of this element u would also be p to the power n minus 1. So that is what we have written. That is what it means using this expression. So u to the power p to the power n minus 1, this is the power, and this was the order of this abelian group. So this is same as this quantity. So that means we say the order of this element is also the same. Now it is quite obvious that n would divide m in. That is obvious, right? So that means when you take this to the power p to the power n, that will divide p to the power mn also. And this p to the power n minus 1 would divide this p to the power n minus 1, p to the power mn minus 1. This is the result. So that means you could say this p to the power mn minus 1 is a multiple of p to the power n minus 1. This is the condition. From here we got this thing. So because we had this thing u to the power pn minus 1 is equal to 1, and we found one factor for this term, so we can also write u to the power p to the power mn minus 1 is equal to 1, because this term p to the power n minus 1 was dividing this term p to the power mn minus 1. So that means you could write e to the power p mn minus 1 is equal to 1. So from this, if you solve this term, so what would you have? You would have u to the power p to the power mn into u to the power minus 1, that is equal to 1, by simple laws of exponent. And now what is u to the power minus 1? It is nothing but 1 by u. So you have u to the power p to the power mn is equal to 1. So this thing, now you could shift this u to the right hand side, so you would have u to the power p to the power mn, that is equal to u. So this is the result. So from here we obtain this expression u to the power p to the power m is equal to u. So that means we considered an arbitrary element u from f, and we have shown that this element u satisfies this polynomial f of x. So that is what we wrote. In place of x we have u to the power p to the power mn minus u. So this element, so you could write this polynomial as u to the power p to the power mn minus u is equal to 0. So that means u becomes the root for fx for this particular polynomial. So now we have already studied this result, which states that for every prime p we have an positive integer n greater than equal to 1, such that the roots of x to the power p n minus x in its splitting field over Zp are all distinct. So that means all the roots are distinct, and they form a field with p to the power n elements within it. And f is the splitting field of x to the power p to the power n minus x over Zp. So this result we already studied. So now we have some polynomial of this kind, and we are saying it has all the distinct roots. So accordingly, using this result on to the present proof, we can say there would be, because what is the power of this x here? The power is p to the power mn. So that means you would have p to the power mn roots of this polynomial f of x, and according to this theorem all these roots, they are distinct in nature, and if we collect the set of all these roots, all these p to the power mn roots, so this would form a field which we call as E. So now what is the situation? The situation we have is, we have this field, we earlier had this field f, we had this f closure, and then we constructed a polynomial here, x to the power p to the power mn minus x. So we found that whatever is the root of this polynomial, those roots collectively form some field E. So this field would have a degree of mn over fp. What is fp? Fp is the prime subfield of this. So fp is the prime subfield, that means it is the smallest field of f, and because this is having characteristic p, so that means this would be isomorphic to Zp, so that is integers mod p. So from here we can obtain a very useful result. So we would say E would have a dimension mn over fp. Why? Because this is defined over Zp, and over Zp it forms a splitting field. So that is why we say E has a dimension m over f. Because here What is the case? The case is that you have the degree of E over Fp, the degree of E over Fp, that is equal to Mn, which is equal to the roots of the given polynomial, right? And the degree of F over Fp, we know that is equal to N. So what would be the degree of, we know this and we know this, so what would be this degree? So this degree would simply be equal to the degree of E over Fp divided by the degree of F over Fp, and the degree of E over Fp is Mn and the degree of F over Fp is N. So ultimately this degree is comes out to be M. So this degree is M. So from here we say that E has a dimension M over F, and because this was an arbitrary extension field, because we consider an arbitrary element, so we say all the extensions would have degree M and all the extensions would be isomorphic to each other. Why? Because they have the same degree M and they would contain the same number of elements within them. Okay.